This is a Missouri River flooding update by Council Bluffs and Pottawatomie County officials. In these briefings, officials will inform you about projects and developments in regards to the Missouri River, other creeks and rivers in the county, and rain.
Today is Friday, August 5th. I'm Matt Wilbur, acting as the Public Information Officer for the Pottawatomie County. River level today is at approximately 34.7 feet, so we've come down a little bit. Again, it's not quite as fast a decrease as we'd like to see, but it's definitely still moving in the right direction. Again, we had 5 in shelter last night at the Red Cross shelter at 611 First Avenue. Really the big news that we're dealing with today is last night FEMA declined Iowa's application for individual assistance. As many of you are probably aware, public assistance declaration was approved some time ago, which allows public entities, certain nonprofits, so basically, county, state, city governments to be reimbursed for flood damages. Individual assistance would be for private citizens, and that declaration was declined. We're obviously very disappointed in this. I know that we've been in contact with the governor's office. I know the governor's office plans on appealing. We also plan on being in contact with our congressional delegations to see what kind of pressure can be put upon FEMA to reconsider this decision. Obviously, this is a time where we're going to have to come together, where neighbors are going to have to start helping neighbors. We're definitely going to be looking at some alternative funding sources for assistance throughout the county in the event that an appeal is denied. A little frustrated, feel a little bit like we're being punished for success. The Public Works folks, National Guard, have done heroic efforts in saving our levees. But that said, our numbers just apparently were not high enough for FEMA's guidelines. Also a little bit frustrating just because we're in the 66th or 67th day of above flood stage of what I guess we consider to be basically a federally managed disaster. Certainly not throwing the Army Corps of Engineers under the bus, saying that their choices, were inappropriate under the the guidelines they have. That's subject for another day. But there's no question that it is choices that the federal government has made through the Army Corps of Engineers in balancing the variety of interests that have led us to this now 3-month fight. And so we're obviously very frustrated, but we're going to do our best to move on. I would like to remind the citizens that we have a couple of assistance programs out there. There is a state disaster assistance program that is available to folks that are at twice the poverty level or below. They can get up to $5,000 from the state. You can access that through the county's website, www.pottcounty.com, to get the information about applying for that program. Also, the Pottawatomie County Community Foundation has a grant program, which I don't believe is income dependent, although it does have some guidelines, but individuals can get up to $2,000 in a grant to help with damages that they've received as a result of the flood. And I know their office is located on East Broadway, and then that would be the location where you'd go to pick up an application. So with that, I will turn it over to Don Gross.
Yes, the city would share Matt's sentiment concerning the FEMA declaration, or the lack of declaration, shall I say. I think the city's sentiment is we are saddened and disheartened for our citizens that have had damage to their property. I guess what I would say is we are, believe we've got our hands around what's happening out there to individual properties. I know the mayor and the incident commander and staff will work with the county, will work jointly with them to discuss what we can do with the governor's office and our congressional delegation to ensure that Council Bluffs gets its deserved assistance. As far as our report for today, we remain at a level 1 alert. Although we've had good news from the Corps of Engineers that there is going to be a step down in release rates, we still have 5 feet of water on our levees, and that is going to last definitely through August, although it is going to get better. So we still remain at risk. So people need to be informed and ready in case we do have an event. As far as situationally, the National Guard is changing its troop deployment this weekend. The city would like to thank the 186th Military Police and the 2168 Transportation Battalions for being here with us for the last 2 weeks. They're going to be replaced by troops from the 224th Engineering, 109th Medical, and the 248th Aviation Support Battalions. As far as current projects, City of Council Bluffs Public Works Department did confirm that the reports at 27th Street and Avenue E as a sanitary sewer collapse, and I assume they will begin kind of coming up with an engineering solution for that and come out with a bid package and get that going. We continue to investigate about 5 other reports for possible sewer collapses. We also, Public Works installed a small seepage blanket west of Richard Downing Drive and Missouri River levee, kind of south of the National Historic Trail Center building. That was done because we had approximately 9 or 10 sand boils in the area, and they felt that this was the easiest and best way to treat that. Work continues on the installation of a HESCO barrier around the wastewater treatment plant. CB 17 covered some of that yesterday, so we will probably post that to our website. The only other news is city is, and you'll probably see it in some news reports, the city is installing what we call hard pipes onto our temporary pumps at various locations along the levee. These just replace flexible tubes. They're just easier to install. They stand up better. We can put asphalt tailings over them so we can cross over them. It's just easier for us. And you know, these pumps, even though the river is going down, we will probably be utilizing these pumps definitely through October. That concludes my report.